Meantime, the monthly report on how the Treasury Department spends your tax dollars just came out. Extra relevant in light of DOGE and all the cost-cutting efforts this year. Megan Casella with the details. Megan?
Kelly, that's right. One big number for you guys today. The U.S. spent $84 billion on interest costs alone on the public debt last month. That's a more than 20% increase from the same month a year ago. And it was one of the biggest drivers of higher government spending. So for the fiscal year to date so far, we now have data for the first 4 months. Total government spending, revenues, and the size of the federal deficit, they're all at record highs. So in other words, we're taking in more money, but we're also spending it faster than ever. So the deficit just continues to grow. Now, besides the interest payments, a few other categories here of higher spending. Spending at the Department of Homeland Security, that was up about 43% year to date, mostly due to more disaster aid being spent by FEMA in the wake of wildfires and hurricanes. Defense and military spending also up slightly, about 9% so far this year compared to last. And three of the biggest line items in the government's budget, Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, those are all still edging higher. Those programs simply have more recipients than ever, but also inflation and cost of living adjustments have led to larger payments for them. Guys.
So how much of this, Megan, I don't want to put you on the spot, I'm sorry, how much do we think has to do with higher interest rates, meaning just higher payments? In other words, just like a credit card, the federal government, if you spend more on interest, you're going to have debts and deficits go up.
That's a huge part of it. You can see that threaded throughout this report, both in how much they're paying on interest, which continues to be one of the biggest line items every single month and for the year as well. And you're also seeing it in those cost of living adjustments. Everything gets a little bit more expensive. So it's all related. It's all throughout. And I will say, guys, too, that Treasury officials were asked about DOGE and about whether anything that we see in this budget might be impacted by DOGE. They really didn't want to get into it, but it is something to watch. This is where we're going to start to see things documented. Are we going to see payments start to slow a little bit later this year? We have to wait and see.